Hello, welcome to Madam YY channel. Today, I'm going to guide you on the steps on how to give Iupac name to the alkane compound. So alkane is a hydrocarbon which is made of hydrogen and carbon atoms only. And there's no functional group in alkane compound. Alkane is a aliphatic and saturated hydrocarbon. It only has sigma bond and have no functional groups. So alkane can be categorized as cyclic alkanes with the general formula CnH2n plus 2. So acyclic means open chain compound, which is also compound with linear structure. Or alkane also can be found in cyclic structure, which is known as cycloalkanes. So the general formula is CnH2n. And the smallest cyclic compound will start with n equal to 3. So our smallest cyclic compound is a cyclopropane. So for example, pentane is a linear structure, and 2-methyl-propane is also a linear structure with branch. So this is our acyclic alkenes. And cyclopentane is a 5-carbon ring structure. In order for all the scientists around the world to understand the naming of organic compound, so Iupac system is being introduced. Iupac stands for International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. Based on Iupac naming, every organic molecule will have 3 parts. So we will have prefix, parents, and also the suffix. So prefix normally refer to the substituents and where is the location of the substituents. And parent tell us the number of carbon. And suffix tell us the organic compound which belong to which family. So based on this example, you have the 3 carbon as a longer chain, and there is a substituent at the second carbon. So we have the Iupac name as 2-methyl. So the 2 is referring that the methyl substituent is attached to the second carbon, and 2-propane. So propane referring to the 3-carbon parent, and the ane is belong to the alkane family. The parent chain is named based on the number of carbon atoms. So if the parent have 1 carbon, it's named as methane, 2 carbon, ethane, 3 carbon, propane, and so on. So in our syllabus, we will learn up to 10 carbon atoms in the parent chain. Alkyl group is referring to the carbon substituents bonded to a long carbon chain. So it's formed when one of the hydrogen is removed from the alkane and attached to the parent. So for example, a CH3 attached to the parent, so the substituent is named as methyl. And the CH3, CH2, when it attached to the parent chain as a substituent, is named as ethyl. So this is coming from the, when 1 carbon, we call methane. So when it becomes an alkyl group, we will remove the ane and replace with YL, showing that it is the substituents. So in the table below, these are some examples of unbranched alkyl group. So methane is a parent. So when it becomes a substituent, it will become methyl. And ethane is a 2-carbon parent. So if there's a substituent with 2 carbon, it is known as ethyl. And 3 carbon will be known as propyl, 4 carbon butyl, and 5 carbon is pentyl. So the naming of the substituents is coming from the parent. So you can see methane, when it becomes a substituent, ane will be changed to replace with YL. And ethane, the A and E will be replaced with YL, which is ethyl. Now we are going to learn how to name the compounds according to the Iupac nomenclature for the straight chain and branch alkane. So first step, we need to identify the parent name. So the rule number 1 is the parent will be the longest continuous carbon chain. So for example, the longest carbon chain in this compound is, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbon. So the parent is hexane. And we have a substituent, which is methyl. So here are some examples how to find your longest carbon chain. It doesn't matter whether it is in linear or bent. So based on this compound, what is the longest carbon chain? It will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the longest will be 7 carbon. So if you write the parent as hexane, then it will be wrong. So the parent name should be heptane because it has a 7 carbon. Rules number 2, if there are 2 chains of equal length, pick the chain with more substituent. So based on the compound below, I can have my longest chain as 6 carbon parent. Or I can also pick the longest chain in this way. So which one should be my correct parent? So the correct one should be a hexane with 2 substituents, and a hexane with 1 substituent will be a wrong parent chain. So step number 2, number the parent chain. So give the first substituents the lower number. So for example, this is a parent with 6 carbon. So how you number your parent, it should be start from the end, which give your substituent the lower number. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you start the numbering from this side, it is wrong because now your substituent is attached to a 5th carbon. Rule number 2, if the first substituent is the same distance from both ends, number the chain to give the second substituent the lower number. So for example, my parent is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is my parents. So where should I start the numbering? Should I start from this end or the other end? So the correct way should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this will give my substituents the lower set as 2, 2, 4. So if I start with the end with the red numbering, the lower set will become 2, 4, 4. So 2, 2, 4 will be the correct way. Rules number 3, if the location of 2 substituents are same from both the ends of the main chain, assign the lower number alphabetically to the first substituents. So for example, this one I will give my substituents which is attached to carbon 3 and 4, or if I assign from the left first, it will also give my substituents lower set as 3 and 4. So whether should I start from the left first or the right first? So based on the substituent, I have methyl and ethyl. So ethyl has a lower number alphabet which start from E. So I should start the numbering from the right. So my ethyl can be the first substituent. So we give ethyl the first substituent because it has the lower alphabet, which is E come first and then M come later. Step number 3, we are going to give the Iupac name to the compounds. So rules number 1, position and name of the substituent must be in the front, so that is the prefix. And rule number 2, specify location of substituents. So it means that each substituent must have a numbering. And rule number 3, number is separated from the letter by a hyphen. And numbers are separated by a comma. Based on this compound, the longest continuous carbon chain is 6 carbon. So we have identified the parent, which is a 6 carbon chain. And after this, then you have to give the numbering. So give the numbering from the end, which give the substituents the lower number. So we start from the right, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the substituents is attached to carbon number 2. So the substituent is named as 2-methyl. And the parent is 6 carbon, so it's hexane. So our Iupac name is 2-methyl-hexane. So to separate the number and the letter, a hyphen is written in between. And remember, the Iupac name occurs as a one word, so there's no spacing. So the common mistake made by students is sometimes they put a space between the substituents and the parent. Sometimes there's a hyphen and also a comma. So hyphen is to separate number and letters, and comma is to separate the numbers. So all these are the common mistakes made by students. Rules number 4, if 2 or more different substituents present, write them in alphabetical order. So means that we will start from A, B, C, D and so on. So that's the alphabetical order. So in this compound, my longest parent chain is 6 carbon. And my numbering, I will start from the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it will give my substituents the lower set, which is 2 and 3. So now my substituent, I have 3-ethyl and 2-methyl. And the parent is hexane. So when you want to write the Iupac name, we should write ethyl first because the alphabetical order. So it will be 3-ethyl, 2-methyl, hexane. So the common mistake is 2-methyl, 3-ethyl hexane. So this is wrong because you should follow the alphabetical order, which E comes first, followed by M. So if you put a comma, it's also wrong. And if you put the number together, it's also wrong. So when 2 or more substituents are identical, we can indicate this using prefixes such as di, tri, tetra, penta, and hexa. So this one is used to tell us that the substituent is repeated. So for example, you have 2 substituents. Okay, you have 2 methyl substituents at the second carbon. So it will become 2,2-dimethyl. So remember, you must give numbering to tell the location of the substituent. So you have 2 substituents. So the numbering should have 2 numbers. So it will be 2,2, and di is referred to 2-methyl. And the parent is propane. So the Iupac name is 2,2-dimethyl-propane. So below are the common mistakes made by students. In deciding on alphabetical order, we will ignore prefixes such as di, tri, and tetra. So for example, there are 3 substituents in this compound, which is 3-ethyl, 4-methyl, and 7-methyl. So I have 2-methyl, so it will be dimethyl. So in my substituents, I have 3-ethyl and 4,7-dimethyl. So remember, you must assign number to all the substituents. And the parent is noname. So when we want to give the Iupac name, we will ignore the di. So which one should come first? So we will write 3-ethyl first, followed by 4,7-dimethyl noname, because E has lower alphabetical order than M. Rules number 5, make sure each substituent has a number. So for example, here the longest carbon is 4, the longest chain is 4 carbon, and we have 2 substituents at carbon number 2, so it will be dimethyl. So your Iupac is 2,2-dimethyl butane. The common mistake made by students is they didn't put the number for all the substituents. So now let's try to recap the steps by trying the exercise below. So first, we need to find the longest carbon chain as a parent. So my longest carbon chain will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And next, we have to give the numbering to the parent. So when you give the numbering, you have to make sure that your substituents has a lower number. So we should start from the numbering from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you start your numbering from your left, your substituent, it will be on the carbon 3 and 4. So start from the right, my substituent is at the carbon 2 and 3, which have the lower set. So now we can give the Iupac name. My substituent will be 2,3-dimethyl. So it will be 2,3-dimethyl pentane. So structure B, so let's find the longest carbon chain. So the longest carbon chain will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then next, give the numbering to the parent. So where should we start? If we start from here, my substituent will be on carbon 3 and 5. So I should start from this end. So it will give my substituents the lower set, which is 2 and 4. So I have 2 methyl substituents, so it will be 2,4-dimethyl hexane. So today we have learned the Iupac nomenclature for simple compound, and the next lesson we are going to learn the common name for branch alkyl group. Thank you for watching my video. So if you like my video, please like, share and subscribe to Madam YY channel. Thank you.